Hey there, I have a really quick one for you today. Welcome to Craft Central Designs. I am going to show you how I created a deco mesh garland. I created mine for a standard size doorway, but this garland will also work for a mantle, a stairway rail, and also a Christmas tree or anywhere that you want to put a garland. I picked up these, I actually used 4 rolls of deco mesh. This is 10-inch wide. Deco mesh. Most of deco mesh comes in 10-yard pieces. I'm going to be using this deco mesh to create a garland around a doorway. Actually, it is the doorway of my ultrasound lab. I'm an ultrasound technologist, as some of you may know. You're going to need pipe cleaners cut in half. Now, I picked up this deco mesh on clearance. And so I got it for like $2, which is really amazing. But you could use any deco mesh you want. Now I'm going to be creating a garland. And this is very, very easy to do. And I'm going to show you what this looks like around the doorway in just a bit. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how I do it. So I am going to be taking my half pipe cleaners and wrapping it around these areas where I scrunch up my deco mesh. And I twist it on the back side, and I'm starting off by just pinching my deco mesh to begin my garland. Now, every 12 inches, I am going to pinch or scrunch my garland or my deco mesh. Very simply, this is so easy to do. I take a half a pipe cleaner and I wrap it around. Now, I like my deco mesh garland very thick, so I actually put 2 of these together. Now, you can do this 2 different ways. You can go ahead, scrunch up your entire roll, and wrap around the pipe cleaners by scrunching up every 12 inches. Or you can do it with the 2 rolls together and scrunch them up one on top of the other. I prefer this method better, but you can do it that way if you want to save time. And I'm going to show you that here in just a bit so you can understand what I'm talking about. But I'm going down this entire roll, taking a half a pipe cleaner, scrunching up every 12 inches. Now what I'm going to be doing is creating poofs of garland around my doorway. Now, I don't want my garland straight, pressed up against the doorway. I'm going to be creating gathers, if you will. I place my poofs close together because I want that fullness. Now, when I get to the end, I just close that off with a pipe cleaner. Now, how much you will need, it depends on the area that you're covering. Figure at least twice the area, twice as much deco mesh as the area. Say, for example, you have a 60-inch area that you want to cover. Do at least a long enough piece of garland, deco mesh garland, to do it twice. Do it twice. Did that make sense? So you need 120 inches, however long that comes to be as you're creating this garland. Now I'm showing you, I'm doing another one. Now this is the way that I did mine. I'm creating 2 of these and I'm going to pair them up together to create a double thickness. And here it is. And what I simply do is place them together. I can just untwist my pipe cleaner and then just attach it together. This will give me twice the fullness. Now, this I think is best to do if you're doing around a doorway. Now, if you're going to do this on your Christmas tree, probably one of these, the thickness is enough. I don't think you need a double thickness. A single thickness, if you want to swag it around your Christmas tree, that will work fine. But what I'm doing is I'm placing mine together because I just like it side by side. But as I mentioned, if you want to save time, you can put one roll on top of the other roll, scrunch it up together, and then pull it apart once you get it, as you start to put it up on around your doorway or wherever it is you're placing it, on your stairwell or your stairway railing. So you can see I'm attaching them together. Now this does not take long to do. Now what I was trying to describe before was that I like to take my poofs, if you will, and I kind of scrunch them up or place them close together so that I get bigger poofs, if you will, around the area that I'm covering. Now you do have a certain amount of poof, if you will, as you see it there, but if you press or push your deco mesh poofs up closer, gather them up, it looks prettier around the doorway if you're doing a doorway. If you're doing a stairway railing, I would use a double row of deco mesh. Now I ended up doing 4 rolls, and I created 2 garlands. Okay, now another thing that I did, now decide if you want to further dress up your garland. I'm doing a Grinch doorway, so I took a 6-inch roll of deco mesh and created scrunches. I'll show you that in a minute. All right, this is the other way I was trying to explain to you. You could put one on top of the other and create your 12-inch poofs like that. That wasn't my preferred method of doing it. I felt it was a little bit more difficult to pull apart the poofs to spread them out, but you can do it this way. And then just do it exactly the same way, putting your pipe cleaners on every 12 inches, create your poof. See, now you can pull it and separate it, but it's not really easy to do, but you can still do it. So that's up to you. If you want to save time, just do them together. Now for my standard size doorway, I used 4 entire rolls. But then again, I do like to kind of scrunch up my poofs to really give that garland a fullness going around the doorway. I just used push pins to attach my garland, try to place the little pinholes as inconspicuously as I could around the doorway. But I'm just showing you that you can do it this way. And you can separate the poofs so that you can spread them out so you get the most, impact of your garland around whatever area you're going to place it. Now, I also added ornaments. I added scrunches with 6-inch deco mesh for my garland, and here it is. I cut 16-inch pieces, and then I just scrunched down the center with my fingertips, and I created scrunches, and then I just took my little pipe cleaners that I used to hold the scrunches together, and I wrapped it around each of those areas where I gathered it. And this gave an extra little embellishment to my Grinch themed entryway. Now you can add whatever you like. It's so easy to add onto your garland, whatever kind of decorations you would like to add to it. Just place it at wherever you gathered your deco mesh. Super easy to do. Now I also put lights under my deco mesh. Now I did that by using a thick tape, and I actually used a white tape, and I used white lights with white wire, And I just placed them on the wall first. Then I placed my garland over the top of my lights, and it's super pretty. So I just showed you there. I added my scrunch. So easy. You could use a 10-inch mesh and do any kind of bundles that you like. Woodland method, scrunches, whatever you like. You can use 10-inch too. That would give you a bigger obviously a bigger piece that would go into those little joints of your garland. Use your imagination. I ended up adding ornaments on top of my scrunches in Grinch colors. Okay, so here is my garland all ready to go up around the doorway. But I did end up adding these two types of ornaments. Now, this is the door that I'm decorating, completely bare. And it has a window, which you'll see how I decorated that as well. But again, this is my lab door at work. Okay, so I made a fabulous bow. I put it at the top just to give you some ideas. 3 different types of fabulous Grinchy ribbon. I added some picks that I picked up at Hobby Lobby, poked them into my Deco mesh in the top. And now I'm showing you. See how I scrunched up those poofs? I wanted a really big impact of that Deco mesh garland around the door. So how did I put my ornaments on? Very simply, I took a half a pipe cleaner, popped it through the ring on the top of the ornament, wrapped it around the garland. And this is my beautiful garland that goes, and I also put some little dots on the wall. I did Grinch, so I like the red and the green. This was my window. I decorated with window clings, just to give you an idea what I did with my window. And I also put some polka dots on that framing around the window. And then I further embellished it with a wired ribbon. I'm going to show you that here. Look at that beautiful bow. Oh, my goodness. That turned out so good. But I just filled up my garland at the joints with all of those ornaments. I used glittery ones and matte ones. I just mixed it all up. Then I made my window look like a gift box with a curly ribbon and another wired ribbon, and I framed my window with that polka dotted ribbon, and it's supposed to look like a gift box. Do you think it does? But anyway, the garland, so simple. I used push pins to hold it on, and that's my garland, and I promised I was going to show it to you, and I did. Okay, until next time, you all take care.